Hello there, and a very warm welcome to this week's exciting edition of your corporate magazine show On Air, the Listener and the Viewer's Voice. On the program today, I'm joined by Judy Ngulube, TV2 producer and presenter, and the initiator of a program called Woman 360. We want to find out what really prompted her to come up with this exciting program that promotes women out there. This is your host, Peter Nyongani Jr., asking you to join me right after this short break.
Here's a public notice from ZNBC. This serves to inform the general public that ZNBC has only one official Facebook page, My ZNBC. Treat the rest as fraudsters and fake. ZNBC, just for you.
Welcome back, and in case you've just joined us, this is your corporate magazine show On Air, the Listener and the Viewer's Voice. On the program today, I'm joined by TV2 producer and presenter, Judy Ngulube, the initiator of Woman 360. Judy, it's good to have you on the program.
Thank you so much, Peter. It's good to be here.
Compliments of the season.
Same to you.
So how does it feel to be on the other side being interviewed?
I was almost co-presenting with you right now. I was saying, yes, thank you. Welcome to On Air.
Okay. To set the ball rolling, Judy,
Yeah.
You are presenter and producer from TV2.
Yes.
But there's something interesting about you. You have a program called Woman 360. Tell me, what is this program all about?
Okay. Thank you so much, Peter. Well, Woman 360 basically is woman magazine program. It just seeks to celebrate, elevate, and inspire women with stories by women, from women, as well as stories, interestingly, from men and women to just, celebrate, elevate, and just inspire women's everyday life.
So, what prompted you, of all other programs, and you only decided to come up with a program called Woman 360? And where is the 360 coming from? I'm certain, of course, the viewers out there watching us and the listeners listening to us right now on Radio 2 would really want to understand, yes, woman, but where is the 360 coming from?
Okay, so the woman is clear, right?
Yes.
It's the female. And then the 360 is, when we were creating this show, we thought of what is the title that we'll talk about, because Woman 360 is encompassing everything about a woman. I know when people hear there's a woman magazine show or a woman's show, they'll quickly rush to, it's a gender fighting show, it's a woman this, woman that. Yeah, it has a component of that, but the 360 is 360 degrees to encompass every aspect of a woman's life, especially in Africa today, Peter, encompassing the African woman in the 21st century. If I go into the dynamics, there's a lot, because there's a lot of clashes of being an African woman in today's life. How do you do this? How do you balance? Yeah.
No, let's talk about that. Because I'm certain way back in the days, our forefathers, or let me put this, our grandmothers were taught to sit behind back home to take care of the children, while our grandparents went and, of course, hunted and maybe sold charcoal and any other things.
Yeah. In the so many episodes that I've had, we're about to start the 4th season, by the way, there've been women who've been successful in both aspects. People usually in society will look at it as you're either a career woman or a stay-at-home mom or a housewife. These can be encompassed and brought together to actually be a successful woman. So that's what we talk about on Woman 360, these dynamics. And it happens because we've seen very successful women who've appeared on the show, who are mothers, who are wives, and they're also good career people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The last time you had the anniversary, or the first time you had the anniversary.
Oh, yes, yes.
We saw you awarding some trophies to, I think, well-deserving women that have played a bigger role in the Zambian society. I think one of them is the one, the founder of
Mother of Millions.
Yeah, Mother of Millions.
Yes, Mother of Millions.
Who's working in conjunction, I think, with the Zambia prisons.
Yes.
But tell us more about that.
Okay.
How did you, of course, come up with these awards? Because I'm certain there are a lot of women out there who've done quite a number of good things in society.
Yes, they are. I'll start it with how we just came about. Firstly, the cocktail for end of season 2 getting into season 3 was basically to thank all the guests that had appeared on my show, because it takes a lot for someone to just come onto TV and share their story, share the piece of their life and time. It's something that it's a big deal. So I was appreciating firstly basically people who appeared on Woman 360, and the seasons have been arranged in such a way that you can't talk about everything in one season. So the seasons have been arranged in such a way that you tackle basically all aspects of a woman's life. Like, I'll give you an example. Season 1 was yes, it had the gender fighting issue a lot in season 1.
Yeah, let's dwell more on that gender fighting issue, because I'm certain that's the very time we heard this one has stabbed the husband, this one has stabbed the wife, this one has shot the wife. Exactly.
Yes. Yes, because in that, the emotional being that the woman is has also got a psychological aspect. So we dwelled a lot on her emotional issues, how she relates to the man, what prompts her to go into such a situation, how does she deal with this in season 1. Season 2 came on with a lot of grooming and how you combine what we were basically talking about, being a grounded African woman and being a 21st century woman in a career path. The 3rd season brought a lot of pioneering in women, like the first female vice president, the first female pediatrician, the first female LAS president, that's the Law Association of Zambia. We spoke to the first parliamentary whip. So season 3 was about breaking grounds. So basically, each season brings in a new aspect to what the woman encounters in her everyday life.
Sometime back on the very program, we saw you putting on the Zambian football jersey.
Oh yeah,
the shorts and some soccer boots.
Yes.
What was that all about? Were you celebrating women excelling in the sports fraternity? For instance, the Mubanga Kapapos, the Swilanji Ponderas of this world?
Of course. First, in that period, if you remember, Peter, there was a whole lot of football fever because the Chipolo Polo juniors were playing.
Exactly. And
then we brought in Janice Kazo as our male feature. Oh, season 3 did have male features. We always just talk to them in terms of, Peter, what can you whip up in the kitchen? What do you find bizarre about the woman? So every episode had a male feature to talk about that aspect of the woman. And that particular one, we had Janice Kazwe, ref, first one going to, breaking grounds as well. And then we had the female coach. So talking about female football, they're also doing something. So highlighting the junior Polo Polo, but bringing in the she Polo Polo as well. That's what we were celebrating that time. And I had to be cladded in something.
Interesting. Now, this program, I'm certain, of course, it brings in some emotions. I know the male folk out there, or we complain, or they complain, saying that there's just this much of women this, women that, women this, women that, and you, of course, coming up with a program that, of course, encompasses and focuses so much on women. When you are interacting with these, of course, prominent businessmen, men, of course, who would really want to be there, what comes on your mind?
Okay. Before we went into the 3rd season, which had a segment introduced about men, a lot of people on our Facebook page, Woman 360, like it even, talked about how it's not basically incorporating men. But Peter, in everyday life, when I'm talking about the woman, there's no existence. We coexist as male and female. All the topics that we've had about women also bouncing off men. So we'll be talking about men and women, but concentrating on the woman. Hence, we introduced the segment of the male feature where we brought in the man to give an aspect of the male's perspective on the particular topic. So we do encompass it.
Interesting. Right. This is your corporate magazine show on Air the Listener and the Viewer's Voice. And my guest today in the studios is Judy Ngulube, producer and presenter of Woman 360. At this point in time, we will take a short musical break. And due to popular demand, of course, you, our Facebook followers, have been wanting us to play you this piece of music. And this is coming to you from Piquet Chala, titled Church Elder Pole Pole. I hope you, the old folks out there, you will enjoy this piece of music. Stay tuned and don't go away.
ufa ubuloshi bwakwe pole pole kabiliye bachietielo dabeba mwana mayo na ulia mwana wafwile ni pole pole aipeya mwana bika kuchikayo yutata ulia mwana wafwile ni pole pole aipeya mwana bika kuchikayo yutata na ulia muipwa wafwile ni pole pole aipeya muipwa posa kumulimi mwanyanje ulia muipwa wafwile ni pole pole aipeya muipwa posa kumulimi mwanyanje nikale tuwa baliri okuva alaine mpapafie chechielo da pole pole naoni ndoshie inganga ya isa muno chiano yani mwikete papashi abantu kumabaibo emakaba ulukuta lonse lwaima lwabakadi nati tatasumina munganga fwebe nalesa mupamba chechi yonse yaima yabakadi nati ukusumina munganga fwebe nalesa lisami nalelo kwena mulekana tamusemide bapole pole bafuira kuchitandana mwemumba nalelo kwena mulekana tamusemide bapole pole bafuira kuchitandana mwemumba bachizo chabale bareti abayibo kumiwe abakulu bachiali chibeba ichichera kapendiko chichi chialia pole pole ilomba lyakuwe Shente kalesa mweba nesu Pesa tabepwa Anasema nyelingiline Nipa bense yaman Shente kalesa mweba nesu Pesa tabepwa Anasema nyelingiline Nipa bense yaman Ifya kitile munyina hundi Uko nifaleshi Alefisa titapepa fuwaka Kuwanankuwe Chilaka chafuwaka chamu chifya Uyo aima mwime Kushoko lukukulu wa chisasa Asoteka Nolulu wa mulu Mulitumba wetolo shiria kweli Yalafuka Waliaekele abanakwe Pamone tusi Chialafuka mwitolo shipetata Apoekele abanakwe Pamone tusi Chialafuka mwitolo shipetata Shani tata pamulepia Tamufile Ukuiminina faka ya pula mwitolo shipetata Shani tata pamulepia Tamufile Ukuiminina faka ya pula mwitoloshi bebu Pachizo chakwa kakalila Wa mukutule Lesa tawepo imwe wa munyina Mwakula sebana Kulicha obonse bashinjiremu amaka lelo bali kweteromba kungafa babere n'abakashiba bokutila bale naila ilili nerombo obwali baleka bwatalala eryo bali pela abakashiba lekitefyo fine lyonse awe mpaka mukwikala basuka balomba chiuti wa muchiupo kuti balefa baye balamona abafyashi kumushi nacho kinelyo bayile bashiriri abana eriri nefunde kuti bakashale bala naile rombo obwali abana bale kitefyo fine mpaka one Sunday wishibwe wale shimikira ku church abana tabayileko iyo nomba kuno bashile balabirwa mukute yechiyenga bakalirya kasita kakale palama mukufuma eryo bayibishati ye tatinaile feni obwali efyo banyina bo bashile babe bati ifeni wikalakoka ekuyana yanomba obwali bwa mulubiro nokuyatira kola kuti kuchirindirishi nabukaba uko ilonga lyambo kupya kulyaga ba Mr. Pole Pole kula ku church ililomba kuno kunganda lilepya bachi babiza baleti mkayapya mwe bakwata vimanga noma bambo kula ndati napya uko napya uko awengefi ba Mr Pole Pole bapona bamtiro makungando kuno mbali afwa abachechi bayimo kuti bayimkweva abana kunganda tishinwe afwa abana nabo kulya kunganda bayima ukuthi bayimkweva shibwa ati kunganda feni nafwa bakumanyina banshira nga batata barebarenge tawe shinwe nafwa nababa na tawe nefwe kole tochisa tutubebya tikunganda oko nakufwapo chimo bebele tie chimona au kasanga chachine nichini lombechi bonse barabu bafyati ye alabanelesa te wako wepo nikale tu abaliri okuvo alaine papa fie chechi yelo da pole pole naoni ndoshie inganga ya isamuno chiano yali muikete papa shi abantu kumabayibo makava chechi yonse ya ima ya bakani nati tatosumina munganga mfwe na lesalisa.
What an exciting piece of music right there from PK Chala. Indeed, old is gold. This is still your corporate magazine show on Air the Listener and the Viewers Voice, and I'm talking to Judy Ngulube, TV2 producer and presenter. Judy, what do you have to say on that very piece of music? Old is gold indeed.
You know what I like about oldies? They always have a story going.
Exactly.
They always have some exciting instruments, especially the instrumentation. It's fantastic. It didn't go through the computer. No. It just raw as it is and is delivered.
So are you trying to tell me that those were geniuses?
Yeah, they were.
Okay, Judy, I have this. Now let's take a look at the fourth season of Woman 360. What do we expect as viewers to see, and of course, what do the listeners out there expect to listen to?
Okay. The fourth season, which is loading right now, is going to be very exciting. I've told you about the other three, but this time I'm going to concentrate more of what is happening in everyday life, bringing in current affairs, issues that are going to be popping up every now and then affecting women in their everyday life. That will be one of them, with a lot of interludes that have to do with daily upkeep of the woman, the grooming be it at home, interior, exterior, body-wise, as well as health. Very, very important for women.
So like the women in the political fraternity,
yes,
how would you celebrate them in as much as democratic dispensation is concerned in Zambia and of course in Africa as a whole? Malawi had a female president by the name of Joyce Banda. Liberia also had Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Germany has got a prime minister by the name of Angela Merkel. Britain has Theresa May. What do you have to say on the Zambian
scene?
On the Zambian scene.
Actually, the season that has just ended, Peter, celebrated a lot of women, because that was the one I was talking about, which brought in the pioneers of a woman in something. They broke ground in something. Our very first episode celebrated the vice president, which is Inongewina. We had spoken to Mutalena Lumango, who was first parliamentary whip. We had spoken to the likes of Linda Kasonde. We went through and spoke to Chinsali DC, the very first female Chinsali DC. We went through and spoke to so many women, the pediatrician who was the first to be in Zambia, and people who set up HIV and AIDS. So there's been so many of those, just actually listening to their stories, having to hear what they contributed and how their journey was to break ground in that sphere that they became the first female something, was a celebration on its own.
As a young and vibrant woman, mother, and wife, when you sit down at home, and of course when you're going through the reviews of your program, what really comes to your mind when you look at what you have scored? Because this program is really loved, or rather celebrated out there. What really comes to your mind?
Firstly, the first one is, as female, we have different personalities, and what I can do, the other can. I start from point A, I reach C. Someone else will take over from C to F, and to have to hold each other's hands and have to encourage each other in terms of personalities. When I talk about personalities, others have got low self-esteem, not due to maybe what they've been through in life, what their history holds. But if you hear another woman talk and do things, you think, well, I think I can do it. And to break the barrier of the tag that people have put on women to say women cannot work together, I think that is being broken.
I think,
And
sorry to cut you short,
yeah.
on that very fact, there's this connotation, I think you've just put it right,
Yeah.
saying if Judy today is minister and she used to play with these other women, now Judy is a minister today, Judy would want to help her friends to climb the ladder, and of course maybe empowering them in businesses and schools and everything. But there comes this feeling among you women, you start poisoning each other, saying bad mouthing and everything, you know, that kind of thing. So how are you addressing, or how are you breaking this vice that we all have seen and heard? Because she's up there, so she thinks she's up there, one day she won't come down. How are you breaking this?
Via the stories that are being told on the program, Peter. Because we've got women who have got projects that are here, but very, very effective. Women with programs and projects that are here, who've got positions that are here and here. But if you hear their stories in their own way, at their level, you see how, as an individual, as a woman, she holds another woman's hand. It can't be maybe giving her finances or giving her a platform, but it can be maybe emotionally giving her the boost, giving her the encouragement, giving her someone to talk to when she needs. So it's through these stories that we see that I don't think this tag is holding water anymore.
Is it a relay where you pass on the mantle, you pick it up, someone also picks up until
you
they
can, to
final
a certain
destination?
extent, yes. To a certain extent, yes, because the reality of life is that you cannot all be at the same level at the same time. You reap what you put in. And people always want to say women want to be spoon-fed, but I think the woman of this generation is hardworking. They're hustlers.
So, gone are the days we're seeing the situation where saying it's because I helped Judy go to school, she's where she is, and now look where she is, she's forgotten about me.
Yes, gone are the days. And I think when people say educate a woman, educate the whole community, a woman always gives back no matter what.
Interesting. Now, your program is very interesting. In line with the ZNBC threefold mandate, educate, entertain, and inform. How has it fitted in the threefold mandate of the corporation?
Okay, all right. Looking at ZNBC being tasked as a media institution to anchor the values of Zambia and to be the image of what the country is all about, Peter, inform, educate, entertain. So inform, we bring in stories of, when I talk about health aspects, how a woman can come through and take care of herself, because if she doesn't take care of herself, she won't be productive, she won't add to her family, she won't add to her friend, she won't add to the nation at large. So information is in all those stories that we talk about. Educating as well, basically the same. When you tell someone the information they did not know, regardless of it being social, economic, political, or even environmental, it's still information and being educated. And then inform, educate, and entertain. I've had so many female entertainers on the show. It's been fantastic. And the beauty is that they're entertaining, but incorporating all this informing and educating. So I've had very fantastic female entertainers on the show as well.
So Judy, to sum it up to that young girl watching us right now, and of course to that young girl listening to us right now on Radio 2, be it in Shangombo, in Kaputa, or maybe within the capital city, Lusaka, what do you have to say to them in your final remarks?
Wow, okay. So it's how people feel when you tell them that. What I can say is, I think if you can think it, if you can create it in your head, it can happen. And always, always, always seek the light of God in everything that you do.
So
you're home and dry.
So prayer.
Yeah, prayer.
So you pray a lot?
Yeah, I do pray a lot. Any project you're about to embark on, you put a prayer, then you're sealed. It happens, yes, he's given it a go ahead. It doesn't, then you know it wasn't mine. That's it.
Judy Ngulube, I must say it's a pleasure having you on set, and we wish you the very best as you kickstart your 4th edition of Woman 360.
Thank you so much, Peter.
There you have it, viewers and listeners out there. I've been talking to Judy Ngulube, TV2 presenter and producer, and she's just giving us highlights or hints of the program that she presents and produces, Woman 360 Degree. And I hope you, young lady watching us right now, be it from Kaputa, Shangombo, and you, the young lady listening to us, be it from Lusaka or wherever you are, you have really been inspired by this great woman. I must say that this is where we come to the end of this week's edition of your corporate magazine show on air, the listener and the viewer's voice. In case you are interactive, you can find us on Facebook, and our Facebook handle is MyZNBC. Or you can follow us on Twitter, and our Twitter handle is at MyZNBC. Or you can simply write to the producer. That's on air, Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, P.O. Box 50015, Lusaka, Zambia. This has been your host, Peter Nyongani Jr. Signing out. It's bye-bye. And God bless you all.